do we want to go live then too? I don't know. I feel like we get a
That's up to
bigger
you.
audience, so I'll do this live too. So,
We're at
oh,
like 22 minutes.
I know. Hang on. Maybe. Oh, okay. It was telling me something went wrong. Story of our life. Okay, and it always says preparing, and then it always just I don't know when it's on there, so I just always have to check. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of So Much Genergy. It's me, Jenny McKinney, and I am here with Jeff Jones.
Jen, thanks for having me.
Yeah, good times. Thanks for getting off work in time.
Jen, I just got off work literally probably 25 minutes ago.
I know, thanks for being here.
I know. I'm just
Being
like,
off work makes it a lot easier to podcast, so let's
it
do that.
does. And it
Yeah,
is.
right. And we have our friend Kristy Sue who's back from uh about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. Welcome back. So, we wanted to bring Kristy Sue back so we could talk in addition to after we completed the death meditation,
We did.
and we wanted to talk about that and the experience we had with that, and then we're going to share some more information continuing about death, which you would think
Right.
is actually part of life, right? Because that's where we're all going to be. It's like where we're all
Yes,
gonna
ma'am.
end up, right? Which kind of sounds morbid, but at the same time, like it is kind of interesting. I did share with some people that I did a death meditation, and they were like, "Ew, how does that work?" I was like, "Cremation." That's what I just started yelling it. Just my personal preference. But Jeffy, do you want to share kind of like your experience
With
or
the death meditation?
yeah,
Yeah, honestly, going into it, I wasn't even sure what to expect at all.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. I was thinking it was kind of one thing, but like it ended up being totally different than even what I was thinking. Honestly, what I was thinking was it was going to be more, which I even thought is it was weird in a group that it was going to be more the death of something specific to me,
Oh, okay.
Oh, right.
another way to kind of let something go, or like an emotion or a situation or something like that.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And what it was like literally Christy Sue walking us through a meditation of basically your body dies, your air leaves, your soul leaves, and your body rots away into the earth and the ground, and it separates from your soul. And I bring that up because at one point she had said when you look back and you see your body, what do you say? And that caught me
Hmm.
way off guard because instantly I said you did what you could, and as
Yeah.
Jeff, I was not ready for that, and I've still thought about that every day, a couple times a day since then. You did what you could. It made me feel good because I actually feel like I do what I can, and so that was great. And then yeah, the meditation brought your soul right back in, and then your body again comes back to life, and you did. I wasn't expecting that. You know what I mean? And even I was excited. Of course, I went to work, started telling a bunch of people. I just did a death meditation last night. Hey, 2 days ago, I did a death meditation. And then it is funny too, because the other day walking into work, I fell and I look back at the guy and I go, man, I've been right since that death meditation. Like, I even used it as an excuse just to cover for me looking like a train wreck of a human. But I loved it. I honestly loved it. It was great.
I was surprised too that you actually meditated because you shared that you had a hard time
I
getting like into a meditative state.
I do, and only thing I would wish I would have done, I wish I would have laid down. Like,
Mm,
Yeah.
again, I now that I know what to expect next time, I
Yeah.
will be laying down and I'll have a more comfortable area to lay down. I mean,
yes.
I was sitting in a chair, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It was great.
it was magical. And just to share on top of yours, I had, the same experience as, walking through. I was a little, I guess, hesitant, because knowing that you have this separation, but at the same time, I was very surprised, just like you were, when you turn around and say something to yourself.
Mhm.
And I said, "You did good, kid." And then same thing, I keep hearing myself saying that, like almost like cheering yourself on, like in
Yeah.
everyday life, you know?
It's like affirming your life, it's like a
Yes.
death meditation, but it's literally affirming like everything that
Yeah,
you do daily.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I loved hearing like what other people had said to themselves too. It was a pretty good
It was a good
array
mix.
of
Yeah.
responses.
Yeah.
Good for yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like them.
And that I do want to bring up a couple of things. So the one of the interesting ones that I've had before was when they looked back at themselves, they didn't see themselves as they are like that day. They saw themselves like older,
Hmm.
Mm.
which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's not like a majority of the people that I've always dealt with have seen themselves like on the day,
Yeah,
right?
same
But
day.
yeah, but a lot of people, like some people have seen themselves as an older version. So I thought that was interesting.
I
Nice.
also had where I have felt a lot less lighter, right? Like it's not that I had a heaviness, but it was just there's like a lightness now. And I also noticed um, other things that would irritate me before, or I would be like, thinking, oh gosh, what about this or what about this? And then I literally can hear myself saying, that's so silly. Like in the big
Yeah,
life puzzle, it's so silly, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally.
And
I love
time
that.
is short. Literally. I mean, I know that's what we always say, but literally when I think about just an age, I'm like, okay, I'm almost 50. And then you think like I'm half or more away from birth and that much closer to death. You know what I mean?
Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Kristy Sue, have you thought about doing like an express version of the meditation where it's just for people that like to be cremated, and then you're just like, and your body gets burned up, and your soul leaves, and your ashes are placed into a box, and
If
it's
you're asking for if you're requesting, I would have so much fun with that, let me tell you. But
I
you
mean,
might
it's something
not
to look
want
at.
me to
I'm
do
not
it.
You know what though? That would
maybe
be
like a
so interesting to
seven.
see how
It'd be like
different it would
7 minutes,
be. Yeah.
but not everybody has a full half hour or whatnot.
Yeah.
Oh
So
man.
funny.
That
Oh.
is interesting. Yeah. But it was
But
interesting too. Oh, go ahead,
oh,
Jeffy.
nope. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, as a group, we did share if you wanted to share, but it was interesting how different we were all in the same experience, but how different everybody's experience was. And
Hmm.
some people came in with having no idea, and then I had like this much idea, and
Eh,
I almost feel like it gave me a pass to now talk about it, if that makes
Right.
sense.
I will
Totally.
say I
Yeah.
invited our other sister to join it. And I gave her the same synopsis that I thought going into it. It was. And again, I felt like the whole time she was looking at me through the video like, this is nothing like what you had said. And I'm looking at her like, this is nothing like what I thought. Not
I
during the
love it.
meditation, but the lead
Right.
up to when we realized, like, oh, like, yeah, no. Like, I was trying to like shake my head to her, like, yeah, this ain't that. That's way off. And then her and I, we never even said anything or talked about it since or after. So,
Yeah. Oh, well, that's okay.
meh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Oh
so
my
funny.
gosh. Yeah. My friend messaged me the next day, and because I was like, "Hey, how are you feeling?" And she's like, "Hey, that was so great. Cremation." And that was all she put. That's all she put, like in all caps. We were laughing so hard. I was like, yeah, makes sense, makes sense.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it's all a personal choice. But
Right.
what I really like, Kristy Sue, is that you bring even I mean, it was like a heavy meditation in the sense of like you are doing a meditation, but to see something totally different and to hear something in just a different perspective, and just where you're bringing that awareness, which I think is amazing, because
Hmm.
you know just with everything that's going on these days, and it's some people, what I really noticed is I had some sort of like release in the sense of when we talk about like, oh, I'm going to let go of this. Like,
Yeah.
no, I'm going to let this die. Like,
Right.
die is so final, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so I really had a big epiphany in the sense of what what do I need to let die and not just let
Right.
go, because go is
Right.
still somewhere, but die
Well, I
is
think it's also
done.
like, and I think the reason why I like to do like the body decay thing, right? And I mean, I have other ones without it, but I really enjoy the body decay one. But because it's like it goes back to the earth, right? So it's kind of like everything that we even release and let go of, it becomes compost and decay. But that
Yeah.
compost and decay that we're like, that's dying, it's still like feeding and like nutrients, right?
Right.
So
Right.
it's actually like giving back at the same time, which our bodies like, literally do if they go into the ground.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's like kind of how I like to see, like just with things that we say we're going to let go of as almost as compost.
Mm.
Hmm.
I feel like I just came in like a unicorn too, though. So I don't know that I came like I need to be put back in the ground. Probably just like
Have a little horn sticking out.
yeah. Oh man.
That's weird because I feel like some people, like myself, see you as like a ghoulie. You remember ghoulies?
Oh yeah. You shut your mouth.
Like a green slimy Muppet.
No, you don't.
Everybody sees themselves differently.
Yeah.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah. That is
So
interesting though, as you talk about like the leaving the body part. I guess when I looked back, I just felt like a wholeness. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
there was a like you're leaving your whole self. There wasn't like, oh, I'm looking at my body and these parts I didn't like, or my brain, or like, oh, what did my hair look like? It wasn't anything like that. It was just like a look back at your whole, like as a whole.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
wholeness of like being human kind of
Right.
experience.
right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right,
And I think that's partially why I did do the body decaying in this particular meditation, is because I wanted you to have like that detached experience, because I feel like
Mhm.
a lot of times we don't like do that, detach from our body and see our body as like, it's our body and it's housing our soul.
yes,
So
yeah,
yeah, and it's like part of the human experience, but it's not like necessarily like who we are kind of thing. It's
right.
like, so yeah, I wanted to have that
Nice,
separation inside the meditation.
Yeah.
nice.
Would have been interesting if somebody said, "Yeah, when I look back, I look like an alien," and then we know that's them. They're an alien.
Probably one of the
I would
lizard
love that.
people,
Right.
Yeah, the lizard people.
the
Yeah.
worst kind. Or as they're known out in the universe, the Anunnaki. Most people just call them the lizard people.
Yeah. Have you ever? Some people don't even believe in that, but have you ever looked at somebody in a picture and like seen that as part of them?
Yeah, yes, I can say a few. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll
That
bite
is
my
crazy.
tongue.
I actually showed a friend a picture of somebody else, and I was like, look, like, because I would have weird vibes about that person, right? And I was just like, hey, what's your thoughts on this person? And then when I asked my friend, she's like, oh, she's a lizard person. I was
Yeah.
like, that's what
There
I
you
thought.
go. There
And
you
I'm like,
go.
that's not a coincidence. I didn't even say anything about it. You know what I mean? It's very interesting.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. But Jen, another reason I wanted to talk to Kristy Sue is I ran into her the other day and I started talking to her. Kristy Sue, what's a name for the process that we were talking about? What do you call that? I think I
Really
called it
just
death
You called
ritual.
it a ritual, yeah. Well, that's the thing I wanted to like kind of clarify too, is
Yeah,
like in your head, like what are you imagining, kind of, you know? But I mean, most of it just goes under like pre-planning, right?
right. So I was talking to her about pre-planning for your funeral or your memorial, or what do you want done with yourself when you pass? And I was asking her, like, is that something she does? And she said, yes, it is. It is something she does.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to have her on just to see, basically, I guess let people know that that's something you can talk to somebody and discuss with somebody and have them document down, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the
so there's
nice
like,
thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead, please.
Oh, I was going to say the nice thing is that's an amazing resource, because if that's not something you want to share with your family, or you're not comfortable talking
Right.
about with whoever, this is an
Yeah,
outside resource that you can still get your wishes down and then decide when you want that shared.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, so we're basically talking about the body, right?
Right.
And so there's like there's kind of two separate parts to it as well, because there's the process of when you're actually dying, right? And like what kind of, because we talk about this a lot, it's like where do you want to be, right? That those are kind of harder wishes to kind of accommodate, because you know there's money, insurance, and things like that that you have to worry about. But there's other things that you can control, like who's in your environment, right? Like, you know, do you want certain music playing, you know, even not just at the funeral, but like when you're actually in the process of dying, right?
Mm.
Like what kind of like scents do you want in the room, right? Like kind of like that comfort care,
Kind of
right?
like
So there's
what you
kind of
were
that.
saying. Oops.
Hmm?
Kind of like you were saying. I even wanted to get it documented down to, like, if I am, let's say, worst case scenario, on life support, what's the last song I would like to hear?
Mhm.
Like, even
Exactly.
that, like you said, what food would you like at your service? If
Yeah,
I am getting buried, what if I want something specific, to be wearing something specific?
Right.
You know what I
exactly.
mean? It's all the little things that everybody else just makes up those decisions, if 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 it's not documented or written down and come go time.
Right.
Like I was
Right.
saying, I want specific music played at my service. You know what I mean? And if I just left it up to my family, they'd only play like a few Neil Diamond songs. You know what I mean? I
If
want
you're
the
lucky,
full
right?
hot, yeah, I want Hot August Night full double album. You know what I mean? I'd like that to be written down so that people know that
Yeah.
if it's not, you know what I mean? If that,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm
it's important to kind of personalize like our like, you know, we're supposed to be gathering together to celebrate a certain person, so it's nice to personalize it, you know. And also, not only that, it's like allowing your people who are grieving, like I think that's why like funerals become cookie cutters, right? Is because a lot of people don't pre-plan. So then you walk into a funeral home and they give you the class, you know, do you want, you know, A, B, or C, right?
right.
It's all pre-planned and they just throw it together for you real quick,
Yes.
right? And there's like no personality in it. So I feel like, you know, now that word's getting out that you could actually personalize, right? Like all of these things, you know, and there's just so it's a huge array of things that you can actually do, so it's just like amazing to me, you
I'm just
Now,
know.
thinking if you were to like create a personalized message for all the people, right? Like you can just create like a memo in your phone and put that in your
Yes,
paperwork of like, "Hey, play my audio recorded on this date," and then share that. And then
totally, you can
yeah.
have videos playing of yourself, you know, I mean you can put your own like, you know,
Yeah.
montage together of things however you
Well,
want it to
and
be.
how
So
much easier would that be for your family also? Like, "Hey,
yes,
here's my death package," which
this is,
sounds
yeah,
yes,
like
it's so personalized then.
yeah. And then
yes,
also as a medium, I can't tell you how many people come for readings that say, "Are they upset with me at the choices I made?"
yes,
You know
yep,
what I mean? And then that would never even have to be a question, right?
And again,
yeah,
the huge selling point, I think, to me, is that when the pre-planning is done and something does happen, people have can grieve easier. They
Right.
have
Yes,
time to grieve. They're not
100%.
making all these decisions like, well, I think he'd want Meatloaf played. Oh, I think he'd want Neil
Yes.
Diamond played.
Yeah.
Oh, David
Yes.
Bowie. I think he'd want an Elvis impersonator there. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? These are all great options. But
Right.
you
But
know what I mean?
and
But
there's like no arguing between family, right?
no,
No
Right.
disagreement,
No,
you
because
no.
it's
know?
all
So
just,
yeah.
it's literally, this is what he or she wanted or they wanted. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's their exact wishes. I mean, the only thing, like, it should be minimal decision making, because you can actually get like decision fatigue when you're stressed
Right.
out and grieving like that.
Oh, 100%. I think
Yeah.
it's a gift, not only to yourself, right? But also to everybody else,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
I'm
So
because you're just allowing them this like relief, you
Right.
know?
so if people contact you and do this, do you have like a checklist type thing? Or I mean, I guess how do you what gets written down and then what gives given to them or given to somebody? Or I just want to like what's the process after somebody sits down with you and goes through all of this?
Well, it depends on how far they want to get into it, right? But I have a checklist ready for people. The one that I have, it's kind of like, okay, here's all the things pre-planning that you can do, right? And it's like it has because I think it's let me start with this. The one that I have printed up, it's for you to store somewhere with all the information on it,
Right.
right? So it's everything is handwritten on there and it gives like, okay, if I need to go find the will, who do I contact, right? If you have pets, what's happening with the pets? Like that's written down there. What's your passwords, right? What do you want done with your
Oh,
social
I didn't
media?
even think about passwords and social
Yeah.
media.
Right.
That's
So
why
it's
you got
like,
a
and you
checklist.
can't put it in the computer because nobody's going to have the password. So you have this piece of paper that acts as information, but also like a checklist to go down everything. Right. But in that piece of paper, that packet is somewhere stored. Right. And you at least have to let like somebody know where it's at. Right. So
Right.
it's handy to grab. Right. If something happens. So that's like, that's what I have right now. And it's just kind of like, okay, what are the pieces that you have done? Where are the pieces that you need to do? Like, where do you actually need help? Right. It's like, if you know you're getting cremated, okay, great. We have that done. If you have a will done, okay, great. Well, you have that done. Right. But what are the other pieces that you're missing from the puzzle? So we can
Right.
kind of put everything together.
And how often do you think this should get updated? Because I feel like I should do one of these right away, only because you never know, especially in my line of work. Like if
Right.
something happens, you know what I mean? But say 5 years down the road, how do I go about updating that? Is that just contacting you again?
Yeah. I mean, it depends on exactly what you're updating, right? If it's something in your will, right, then of course you have to, contact your lawyers and things like that.
Right,
So depending on, if it's like something that is like a legal matter or da da da. But otherwise, you have the sheet of paper, you can see who you need to contact, or do you just need to update your sheet of paper kind of thing, right? And it's like easy to just redo it. But they say I think it's like the 5 Ds, but I can't remember all of them. It's like if there's a death in the family, if you get a divorce, right? And like every decade. But I feel like there's some other things in there. I think there's pregnancy as well. Um, so yeah, any kind of like huge or like if you buy a house or property, so any kind of like huge major events that happens in your life, or just if you completely change your mind,
right.
then just go back and update everything. But it is
Okay,
important because it's not just a one and done. I mean, that's great that you have it, but it's also, it does need to be updated and checked at
right.
least every decade, I would say. And I
Okay,
mean, if you have, because I know it's like once kids turn, a certain age, things change, right?
right,
So it's like you might even want to update it then too.
right,
Yeah. As you were talking, I was thinking it's so crazy how when you're pregnant and you're gonna have a baby, you know what hospital you're gonna go to, you know what, like what people will be in the room, what do you need to pack in your
Yes.
bag. Like you take all
Yes.
this care and try to make sure that you're so prepared. And why aren't
Hmm.
we doing that on the exit?
right,
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
100%. I think that's a huge, huge thing to look at. It's like we're not putting the time and effort into the end of our life, We're not catering and honoring. And I think it's just as important or even more important, than coming in. So, or
Right.
I guess they're equal ends, they're the
Yeah.
bookends,
Yeah. And it just
so
seems like it
they
would be so like such a beautiful send off just for yourself, but for your family,
yes,
so that they just like we're saying that they didn't have to worry about those things or have to make those decisions and um
Yeah. And again,
yeah,
it keeps it personal to just you. This is
yes,
everything about you
yeah,
yeah,
personally.
yeah. And I
That's what
think,
I
I
like.
think, yeah. And I think it's just like a better way to kind of send people off,
well it
it's kind of
feels
like that
more.
final remembrance.
Yeah, because you know how sometimes, like, let's say it's something quick or tragic or, and then you're making decisions and then the funeral's over and you're like, that just was like so quick. Everything was so
Yeah,
quick. But this seems like it would give you just that extended amount of personalized time.
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I would like to say, I will add this in too, because my father, he didn't have a funeral, right?
Hmm.
So we didn't have anything afterwards, right? Which was interesting. So I will say some people just don't want that,
Yeah.
right? And I think, and I want to say to the people that like are grieving for people that don't want that type thing,
Sure.
they can actually do something on their own too,
Yeah.
right? So it's also like contacting me for something like that. If somebody did die or is dying, is going to die, and they don't have a funeral plan, like they don't want one, you can do like your own like honoring and remembrance and ritual for them, because we're all just like processing the grief. It's a good way to kind of have that closure. I don't even want to say closure because I hate saying that.
Yeah.
But just
Yeah.
honoring and having your own honoring and remembering
Right.
remembrance for them. So I think it's important to kind of say that too for people. Like
Yeah.
if there isn't a funeral, you can still do something.
I
Yeah.
love
Nice.
that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And
Yeah.
where can people contact you again to have services or
Yeah.
death or
I
the
am.
death meditation even?
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram. I'm on there like all the time. um, it's death_priestess. And then I also have my website at deathpriestess.org.
Oh,
Awesome.
And I'm on Facebook, but I'm not really on there a lot. So you're better just contacting me on either my website or Instagram, really.
And you do live events too, right? You do
Yes,
Death
I do in
Cafe?
person. Yeah, I have a Death Cafe coming up. It's every first Wednesday of the month
Okay.
at 4 o'clock at Drifter
nice.
Coffee House in Ferndale. So
Yep.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, perfect. That's
yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
All
That's
right.
awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome. Yeah, so we'll put the links for Kristy Sue again in here, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and we'll pass those along, or you can just reach out to Kristy Sue. She has a contact page on her website. And yeah, thanks for being here to round two of
I
Death
know.
Talk. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's just like end of life talk. You know what I mean? Because it's like we're so full of life and then you're so excited, but then at the same time, like what an awesome way to put your personalization on your end.
Yeah.
yeah. It's just honoring your life, I think, in a
Yeah.
different way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and real quick, wanted to add that Christy Sue shared that she may be offering gift certificates if that's something that
Yes.
you would be interested in purchasing for somebody else. So let's say if
Yes.
you'd want to do that, you could get a gift certificate for your family or whoever.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Good to know.
Awesome.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, good to see you again, and thanks again for being here. I'm sure we'll follow up again and figure something else out to chit chat about. It's not like death is going away, right?
Exactly. Exactly. We might though. No.
Right. Yeah. So let's get that figured out before the end. Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of ends, we gotta go. Okay. See you next time.
See ya.
Okay, and scene on that.